Hey, Nation, back with Beatrice Phillips out of Florida. Beatrice, you're saying it's cold and it's 79 degrees out there. What's up?
That is cold in Florida. So sorry, I know. I've acclimated. What can I say?
There we go. Well, hey, this month we want to talk about how to wow your customers because you're doing a few different things, which is really cool. You always have. You kind of invented the phrase side hustle. You always got two or three things going on, and that's a whole nother podcast. But let's talk about wowing your customer. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, it's funny. You mentioned side hustles, so my mind just went off to something else. But I'm not going to talk about that today. Yeah, wowing your customers. So we had a discussion not too long ago. And so question to you, Harry, when was the last time you bought a product or received a service where you just went, wow, this is really cool?
Yeah, it happened just the other day for a friend out here in Dripping Springs. So went by a tire store, a local tire store, and they will fill your tires up to 38 or 36 for free. You just drive up. You don't got to go to a gas station and feed quarters. That's a service they do. Okay. And then I thought, well, that's really cool, right? I don't have to bend over, and they just run around and do it properly. And then this friend, the right tire on the driver's side had some mold on it. The tire was faulty and it could blow out, right? It was drying out. And she took it in and they matched the price of Walmart. If you print out the Walmart bid, they matched it. And this is a smaller store that doesn't have that kind of volume and profit margin. So wow on two fronts. Wow, you can just drive up and get your tires filled to 38, very comfortable. And then wow, they match the price. So that's my wow.
Oh, I love it. I love it because a lot of people don't have a wow experience, but what you just talked about is something that actually doesn't take a whole lot of effort on that gas station's part, right? So yeah, they have to have someone out there. But I want to take you back a couple of years. Do you remember before we had these things?
Yep.
How we were just excited when we had our first modem and it did 9600 baud.
I remember 300 baud, but not to age myself.
I remember my first modem still actually had a dial on it, like on a rotary dial on a phone, actually on the card that you attached in a computer. But anyhow, think back like early 2000, mobile phones were just coming on the market and you could wow your customers by going, hey, I can get your email on your phone, right? And that would just sell for you. And look at how far technology has made an inroad, that things that like with our phones, something that wowed us 20 years ago, now is just a plain commodity, right? Especially when you're an MSP, for instance. What can you do now to wow your customer? Cloud service, everything, it's become a commodity. And I have my dentist, and a typical dentist office, you have I'll just talk about my dentist. When you go to my dentist office in the lobby, they don't have like the regular chairs. They have like a couch and a reading chair, and it looks like someone's living room. They have a bar, not with booze, just with like teas and coffee, and you can make yourself a cappuccino. They have the high-end teas, not the one out of the bag that you get from the grocery store, but like the really nice fancy teas. Yep. And then when you get seated, number one, I've never have to wait more than 5 minutes, literally, to get into the room. And then each room is themed different. They have a astronaut room with like astronauts hanging from the ceiling and stuff, and Star Wars theme. They have a music themed room. And then when they put you in the seat to check your teeth, they go, would you like to have an essential oil to help calm you down? And then they do this acupressure thing on your hand, and then they go, oh, here, did you want to listen to your own playlist? We have some earphones for you. And what kind of service, do you get anymore nowadays? Everything's been so commoditized. And the idea is like, just look around, just like the example that you had, something really simple that you can do to wow your customers.
Yeah. Yeah, it just really stood out. Again, um, can I go to the car wash and feed quarters to get air? I certainly can. Here's the problem. I got to go to the grocery store and get a little cash back to get the quarters to feed the air. Ah! And then you always feel like you're running, right? You put a bucket and a half in, and it's like you run from tired because you don't want it to run out. So
Well, so it's a convenience thing, but like think about Uber now. You can play your own music. Like Uber and Spotify got together, so you
oh
can play your Spotify list while you're getting an Uber ride, right? And so it just generated discussion, and we just talked about in general because so much has been commoditized. In order to wow your customer nowadays is actually to come back and be personable
yeah,
and write handwritten thank you notes, for instance, or pick up the phone and call them. I know, crazy idea.
yeah, yeah. No, what's old is new, or same as it ever was. Remember, there's a rock song, same as it ever was. But what I mean is circling back to the way we used to do business, and hopefully will in the future. Well, hey, we're about out of time, so we'll see you next quarter. We'll check in on you. I understand you have some new things going on. We'll talk about that.
Yeah. In the meantime, think about what can you do to wow your customers.
All
All
right.
right. See ya.
Thank you.